Hey, all right. Everybody, welcome to the panel. It's up to you. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Oh, got a twangy taste to it. It's apple manzanita soul drink. It's got a tang to it. Takes a little getting used to, if you ask me. That's about all I know about that. Oh, yeah. So I was checking out them kind of birds that existed down and around these parts, and I'm starting to identify them now. So I guess that makes me a bird watcher, you know. But one of the birds that I saw down here that I said, I wonder what kind of duck that is. Remember the duck that we saw earlier today? I thought it might have kind of resembled the duck, but I didn't know what the hell it was. But it had a beak like, sort of similar to a duck. That bird is actually a breed of its own down here. It ain't a duck at all, but it is a type of water bird. It can go fishing for fish underwater with no problem. They got an orange bird here with black wings. I have seen these birds down here, a flock of them. They must be one of them birds that heavily flock together because you don't see them everywhere. And um, but yes, down here in the area where I live, they have those birds down here, and I forget what they're called. Altamira areole. Altamira areole. Might be areole. It's got an E on it. So Mariole. But whatever, that's what kind of bird it is. And I've seen one of them down here before, but I saw them in the flock together, and I was like, wow, check that out, right? I've never seen no orange fucking bird in my life, like a little ball of fucking orange in my life, and it was so fucking cool, right? But yeah, we do got them birds down here too. The charts that are up to date are they're really very up to date charts to use when you're trying to identify a bird you had never seen before. Mm. There's another bird down here that's got a blue face. Those are actually what you call green jays, and just like the green wing kingbird, this bird is yellow from the neck or chest. The chest area comes down like a picture of a dick down the bird's neck, but all of the rest of underneath, including under the bottom of the tail, is yellow. But the top of the wings are green. See? But it's got a black mask, covers up its eyes, and the black comes up here and it comes almost like at the very top of the side of almost the very top, and it comes down and then the blue comes down with the white, and then it separates right there at the nose, and then it comes up like that, right, with the blue and the white. That's a pretty cool fucking bird, and I'm pretty confident that we have seen one of these birds here before because I can recall distinctly seeing this bird. So if I haven't uh, been able to point the difference out yet to you, I'm very confident that we will. But the only way to really tell them apart is going to be because of the mask. The blue jay has that certain mask to it, to where the king bird does not. But you got to see the blue on the back of the head. It's a good blue to sky blue on top of the head. It can be very sky bluish. But that's called a green jay. Altamira areoli can also be misconcurred as one of these other small birds. When it's young, it's very, very yellow, even a dark yellow, with a funny little semblance of a black mask from the front, and then going up and then down around from the beak to the eyes, right? But on the top, it's got a brown top to the wing. So that anything looking behind him, he can blend in as one of the tree branches or something like that. And those birds will just keep on going. And you can tell that by the little patch. There's always that little patch of whitish type color, or a very tan type of color in reality. That's to symbolize a tree branch. And there's nothing on the tree branch. So you just keep moving. Because these birds, they zero in on shit to that degree. They're not looking, zooming back out and says, "That a bird? I'll be damned." No, they just see that little pattern right there and they keep looking. So this is good camouflage for this bird. And but at the same time, in the front, being able to brag, "Hey, baby, where's you at, baby? Your man is here." You know, at the same time, it's a pretty cool bird. But we have seen those birds here, and those ones that are all yellow with the very blackish to light tan on their wings, and they similarly have what you call a black hood. That's the same kind of bird as those other ones, and they're an areoli bird. But this one's called a Audubon. It's an Audubon areoli. So it's its own little species, believe it or not. And we'd be seeing these birds. The one that looked like it had a skunk head is another. Well, no, it's a great. It's called the Great Kiskadee. The Great Kiskadee. I've never heard of a bird called a Kiskadee before, but okay. We have those birds here. I've actually seen one of those birds. I didn't know what kind of bird it was. I said, "Man, that bird looked like he had a fucking skunk head." And I didn't know that these birds were prevalent down here. Never really caught on to me, but I have seen a couple of them. I just thought that might be one of them birds with a fucked up head. I don't know what to tell you, but you know, you go looking through all the birds that fly through this area, and this is how you begin to identify birds that you've seen. And they got this fucking bird called it's just a plain chickalaka or a chickachalaka. That's what it's called, a chickachalaka. It gets up in the tree and it talks to the fucking bobcats. Like, it's weird. But he's always searching, making sure there ain't no fucking bobcats around. That way, if he goes and makes a kill, his odds are pretty high. He's going to get to keep it. So if there ain't no bobcats in the area, he's going to go make a kill. That's when he starts making that sound. He's trying to see if there's any bobcats out there. Now, those birds are really cool. They're accused of being part of the turkey family, but I'm not sure that they are. They might be distant relatives, but they're definitely not, in the turkey family. I wouldn't imagine. They're probably very closely related though, when compared to other types of birds. And some people will accuse them of being a young turkey even, but they're not. It's a breed of a bird of its own. Man, they got all kinds of little tiny birds around here. You never know what you're looking at. There's a cactus wren that they got flying around here. See, now that's a bird that can feed off the cactus. When other birds have a hell of a hard time being around any fucking cactus, this bird's got no problem. And that's why it's called the cactus bird. They got those down here. It's very rare you actually see one. They got the one that's a yellowish color to a tan, yellowish to a tan, a very light tan color with just the orange beak. Remember that one time we saw a bird like that and I didn't know what kind it is? I'm looking it up right now. It's called a northern cardinal. That's a northern cardinal. That's what that is. Uh-oh, excuse me there. And I'll turn my screen around and show you. Share the screen. Share the screen. And there he is right there. That's a northern cardinal. Today you saw at least 3 of the red cardinals. Those are the smaller of the redbird type of species. They have a bigger one around here too. Bigger than the cardinal, but that's a cardinal. And you can see cardinal's not really a large bird. He's more of a smaller end sized bird. But he can put up a fight, even when he's running from some other bird trying to prey on him. Here's one right here, a duck that we may have seen in this area. And there's the name of this particular kind of duck. It's a cinnamon teal, but it's of the duck family. That's pretty cool, huh? We know we've seen these kind of ducks around here flying while I'm live streaming. That's guaranteed. Definitely seen it. We've seen these birds here. What is this kind of hummingbird called? A short-billed dowitcher. It's a short-billed dowitcher. Looks like a long bill, don't it? That's a pretty good sized bill. And then they got, I've never seen one of these goofy things, but they got these down here too, probably on the beach more often. Look at the stock. Look at him, he's a stock. Look. Wah! Put some fucking wings out, baby. Shit. Then you know you're looking at a stock because that's a pretty good sized bird. You get anywhere around water down in these parts of Texas, and you're very likely to see one of these kind of birds. And that's all the pictures that come from this particular deal here that I was looking at. It's just one type of family of deal, whatever. It's pretty cool stuff to be able to look up these birds and see what kind of birds they are, huh? And if you want, you can read into the history of the bird, you know, everything they know about these birds. You know, real bird watchers that are out there, they're out there and they've studied the lives of these species of birds. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Get into. I could definitely get into watching some of those videos. It's crazy, isn't it? Mm. I'm afraid to look. Total sugar's 33 grams. I'm gonna get me a shot after I drink some of this, huh? Just to be on the safe side. Yeah. So what's everybody else up to? You saw that I've been up to figuring out what kind of birds we're seeing flying around this area, and I've been very successful. Really, there's a larger variety of bird down here than I ever thought. It's like on a daily basis, I'm probably filming 12 different species of birds on any given day. But you can readily identify 9 different species of bird at least 4 or 5 minimum, right? And but a lot of those times, those birds ain't what they look like when they're flying. You know, sometimes that just proves that they're another kind of bird, and I think that's pretty awesome when you can do that. The more you can do that just by looking at the bird. Don't you think that's pretty cool? Oh man, I just ripped a good one, baby. Oh, I hope I don't need my air fan. Mm. Yeah, that was a bad one. I probably need my air fan. Oh God Almighty. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh, oh my soul. Lord, have mercy. I just farted. So could you take that stench right there and remove it away from me over there? Be just fine. Thank you very much. That must have been an active guide to invent the great hand fan. Cause that's a hand fan, baby, tonight. Oh, damn, I'm a good looking some bitch sometimes, ain't I? Mm. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of them videos how they built the Strato Fortress, planes like that from World War II, and what made them a viable weapon, and the way they built these planes. And it just ever so often it'd be happening at a plane that they had already been kind of eyeballing. And that is to say, people writing up different ideas and plans for such a plane would then actually be something viable, right? Because they can ask all of their engineers, we are currently now looking for anybody who has any kind of plans or start off plans for such and such activity, this kind of a jet. And these people, the engineers, they already had their own, uh, you know, draw out or plans, if you will, to build certain types of planes. And some of them had taken it so far that they actually could design the right kind of a jet, maybe to carry the certain payload or anything lower in weight per se. Those kind of specialty built bombers really became a thing. And even today, that is a thing. And China just built, and I think over 80 of those brand new stealth fighters that they bought that they are building per se for China, built, they've already built and delivered. And that's a lot. And they're being built right now. Those 80 uh, planes are actually being built and delivered. And but it looked a little more stealthier than Russia's stealth plane, right? And Russia's stealth plane just got they got their face bit slapped 2 times, right? F-35 is blowing these fucking planes out of the sky, and we haven't heard of any of the F-35s being shot down. This is something here now. Now we say, look at the F-35 shine, baby. Damn. Is there any more question which jet fighter is better than the other? And the F-22 has only been updated, if anything, and it's a better stealth fighter than the F-35. That's a scary idea. And Russia can't even tackle the goddamn F-35. It got no chance against the fucking F-22. Shit, you lost your motherfucking mind. F-22 is a multi-role stealth fighter. However, it was predominantly built for air-to-air combat. To be able to be better and own the other skies, what would it have to have for power? What does it have to look like? And that plane had already been built with the same jet engines that they're putting in all the new. They're replacing all the old engines with, right? Like the F-15s, the F-30, F-16s are being built with a very similar power plant, and uh, Man, those damn F-16s, boy, shit. That's a badass one-engine plane right there. It's not the world's, like, you're not going to outturn just any fucking jet ever made. Like, because the F-35 can outturn one of those planes because of its thruster. It's got thrusters, like on the shoulder of the plane, down underneath. So the pilot can fire those thrusters and while he's flying, and it'll push the front up. And now as he does that, he's looping around, making a turn. So he can turn in any direction at practically any speed and redirect his thrust to get a greater turn radius than even that of an F-16. That's hard. That's hard to overcome. But from now on, your jet fighters are all they're all going to have the redirectional thrust of the jet engine available to the plane, and it's going to be an all directional thing. So if the plane needs to aim its nose down real quick, up real quick, whatever direction, it can do that really quick. It can direct the nose of the plane. It can push it sideways. Wow, that plane just made a fucking turn, a direct turn, right? And so you don't see this type of technology though, except for now that America's letting it out that they have been using that technology when they were building these F-35s. That technology was at the forefront of their minds. So the F-35 had a certain amount of the thrust vectoring put in it so that it could outturn planes like the F-16 that it's very likely to see combat with. So it can outturn even a F-16. That's hard to fathom. But the fact that it's being able to catch the Su-57 on radar and then sneak up to get a perfect shot on that son of a bitch and never be detected by Russia's plane, that is saying a lot right there. I bet you even the air-to-air missiles are stealthy. So when they do pop out, fire, there ain't going to be no light, just beep, catch you by surprise. Oh, by the way, you're dead as soon as you look. I mean, yeah, that probably might even happen to some of them, maybe, if they're lucky. Only if that fucking missile ain't stealthy. But it's pretty cool how you're seeing all of this unfold nowadays. As this technology grows, you see it coming out with the actual type of planes that are being made available to the military to build. Doing the same way with tanks. Tanks are all being updated all the time. And still to this day, the number one proven combat tank that's ever existed is the M1 Abrams. And that has been significantly upgraded. So that tells you who the big dog is on the block. America's tanks, number one on the block. Because there's not a tank out there that this tank cannot destroy. And there's very few tanks out there that might be able to lock onto this tank faster than he could lock onto your tank. Because you got to keep in mind, his technology was built just for that. He's going to spot you over there and all the rest of you, and he's going to mark you out, and he's going to assign those fucking targets to all the other tanks and say fire. and they all fire at the same time, blow all of you up. Because see, you're trying to hit an object that's moving to anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour, and you got to zero in on that motherfucker for how fast he's traveling. Right there at the front, fire. You dig? So you gotta lead him just right to get a hit on one of them tanks. There's not too many tanks that are built like that in the world today. They do exist though. Oh, they do exist. I believe that the M1 is it's a crew loader. So the crew loads the gun. So it's got a loader inside the tank, like a person that loads the tanks. But I did know about them building the automatic Abrams tanks, and they'd had so many of those in service. So I knew there's at least one group that already utilized those particular Abrams. And they say that it's not really that big of a difference between an auto loader and a regular loader. That for some reason, the way they had it set up, a loader, like a human being, can outload one of those automatic firing tanks. But they'd have to prove that one to me. Uh, but they do have those. Like every time that thing fires a loader, he opens the hatch, pulls it, pushes it, closes it. Boom. Boom. You're gonna fire about that fast probably. But with an automatic loader, man, I seen them fucking Abrams hit off on one of those. Remember when they was in the war? And they showed the tanks firing, and the tank goes boom. And then you hear a boom, boom. That fucking tank was boom, boom, boom. It was firing rounds that goddamn fast. How's that possible? Well, that's one of the units that had the automatic loader, most likely. Shit, he was firing some rounds like boom, 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 boom. He got 5 targets. He just hit 5 fucking targets, right? I don't know if any human loader gonna load any fucking cannon that fast. But they can load pretty fucking fast too, though. That's the thing. You don't really need a automatic loader. Because this tank was designed for a guy to load this thing while it's traveling 60 miles an hour. And then as soon as you close that fucking hatch and lock it, you hit the button, that thing's already locked onto its next target, firing. Bam! So no sooner than you hit that button, there's a target out there. If there's still a target for that tank, it's going to fire as soon as you hit that button. And then you do the same thing again. Pull that loader round out, shove one in there, close the hatch, lock it. Boom! You just fired another round. If it's got another target. If it don't, that just alerts the guy who can fire that cannon that you're ready to fire. See what I mean? So the commander, well, he'd be down in the tank at this point in the game, right? And he would be the one sighting in the tank and all that shit. All he's got to do is hit the button because he's got a round ready to go. So if he didn't have a target, all he's got to do is find a target. And then boom, he's ready to go, right? So the updates to these tanks are pretty significant in terms of that. Because now you're going off people yelling in the tank. Okay, there's a round ready. It's loaded. A certain type of round loaded. Okay, he knows that. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You know, the APC round loaded. So that round's ready to destroy a fucking tank that's loaded in there. And he's just looking for the next target. Those are the way that tanks are these days. They're just they're very deadly now. I mean, they could be made so very deadly. They're so deadly now that they're talking about. They've got one of these countries has those drone tanks already in service. They already had ordered them and set up. They've already got a whole fleet of these so-called drone tanks in service. They were the first country to do that. I don't believe America's even ever really considered doing that before, but I forget which country did that. I can't remember, but they got these drone tanks, and it's either China or England. I think one of the I can't remember which one of them countries. It might be some other country. I'd have to look it up again. But I'm sitting here. Are you serious? In my lifetime, they invented these fucking drones, and now they can build a fucking tank into a drone tank. Just like the little toy tanks you can go play with. It's a little drone tank. A drone is simply a remote control vehicle, okay? So I can tell you, because you've already got, you're trained for combat. I can tell you combat mode, there's your target over there. That's where you're going to find your target. And this thing will look all around and see all of the soldiers standing around and say, okay, good people. And you handed a pin to another guy, so he's got the pin, okay, good people, everybody's here's good people. Okay, execute your mission. That's your command I just gave you. So now you're just going out to execute the command. And then there may be a command after that, like when area is clear, come back. Or you tell it to stay there, stand guard, whatever. They got tanks like this now being deployed in the world right now. That is crazy because the United States has been working on that technology also. So are we going to see those tanks coming out next? Not with Joe Biden in office. Fuck no. If he can't pocket that money, he don't want it. Nothing to do with it. So where do you think his money's been invested lately? He invested it into some of those people that make airplanes and weapons. So now that would change the playing field a little bit, right? He would actually want this produced or that produced, so he's going to quietly sign off on producing what the military needs over there, as long as that's going to help out his pocketbook. So that's a coin toss whether it's something he would agree with doing or not. We haven't seen it yet, so obviously he has no plans in that direction. Or you think he would have already made that maneuver. So it's going to be the president after this fucked up Joe Biden, who fucked up America, is capable of. I mean, he's really a mad man. He's gone out of his way to see to it that this country go back into a recession. And he's just that terrible of a president, man. Dude, I think that's incredible. So, yeah, we do need a Donald Trump back in office, big time. No matter how much you don't like the guy, most all of y'all even admit right now, you're right. We do need a Donald Trump in office. And those people are starting to see the light here. So one of the best things that could ever happen was them stealing that election, because now y'all get to see the fruits of your labor, pure fucking evil working against you. I bet Biden's costing you a lot more money than if he weren't president. I'll bet you that. So why in the fuck would you want to vote for that fucking moron again? Of course you don't. If Donald Trump runs again, he's got my vote. For a lot of reasons. Mainly because everything he does is going to be in favor of the working people in America. I support that 100%. But the Democrats get in there and it works the opposite. Everything is set against you. The way the laws have been passed and shit we had to live with for so long. Until the Supreme Court just shot down the EPA ruling and the abortion ruling, right? All of that got overturned too. And it's all under the same guidelines. The federal government does not have a right outside of these fucking things we call Bill of Rights to say a fucking thing to a state about nothing. You don't tell the states what to do. Period. We're only bound under the Bill of Rights as a state. Outside of that, you don't tell us what to do. That's what the federal government's saying. So now you're going to see a lot of stuff work back towards favoring us, the people, in so many ways you don't even know. And fucking Joe Biden's doing everything he can to undermine all that other shit left out there. That was some eggs he was frying. They look so perfectly well done right now. Let's turn them upside down and then turn the pan upside down. Ain't nobody gonna eat them motherfucker. I'll shake this fucking grill and it'll fall down on top of the coals. Oh, does anybody want those eggs? I'm sorry they fell. Darn it. He's one of the guys that would fuck up somebody's eggs just to be a smartass. See? And people are just now learning that about Biden. Terrible president. Ugh. Yeah. So what's everybody else up to anyway, huh? Hmm. I haven't seen Jay around here lately. Anybody seen Jay? Jay's out there floating around. He never seems to know I went live until the hour after the fact. I guess he made a song or something. I didn't listen to it yet. But supposedly he sung a song in one of his videos. I'm going to have to go catch up on that, listen to that one. Oh my goodness. That poor miserable little fucking psychotic bitch. God, that's gotta suck knowing that you done fucked your own dreams up. You done fucked up your fuck up. Mm. The jig is up, the jig is up. I finally found you. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I finally found you. How you feel about that? You just met me and already I done cut a fart, like laid that stinker on out there. Probably made you laugh a little bit, huh? Because see, I'm just a normal person just like you. Yeah, just popular belief. Unless you're one of these people that ain't so normal. There's a lot of them fruitcakes out there, and yeah, there's one right there. Matter of fact, right now, got his eyeballs wide open and his big old fucking stretches his ear out, big old fucking ears listening. Doot, 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 doot. You're gonna listen to everything that's said, every noise that they hear. You're gonna try to identify what was that. He's talking about our ears, and then he said, doot, 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 doot. What the hell is that for? Maybe that comes from the bionic woman. Every time she was listening, it would go, and then you'd hear it with the bionics, right? But it would be real pale. It'd be like background noise, but you would hear it while she had her like she had her hair up, holding it above her ear so she could listen in on something. Yeah, and it had a similar but a different sound with the bionic man with his eyes. It would be like it's weird. It had a little different sounds for that fucking shit when it fucked up or when it was cold. Remember, he's in outer space and they showed his eye with the little cross right there in the middle, like you're looking through a scope, kind of, but it's just a camera maybe, but it's his eye. It make those funny sounds. But yeah, you can get sounds from anywhere, anything that's published like that. Yeah, pretty crazy. Baby, baby, come on. How would you like to have a superheroes style Las Vegas casino night style fundraiser? See, I'm the guy that could probably make that happen for you. Pretty easy. Come talk to me. I'll hook you up with this other guy and he'll hook it all up for you and you'll be good to go. So, what else is going on in the world, baby? Looking at a hooded Oreo, man. That's what we was looking at the other day. He's all looks like an orange, but he's a very yellow orange color in his body, and he's got the black mask comes from the top of his beak to the back of his eye, and then kind of like down around here and back over again. On the other side, same thing. And he's got the black wings, a little bit of white feathers in the mix of that, like a lion-o. Well, we've seen that bird here while I've been live streaming, and that's the hooded oriole bird. Call it. Some people pronounce that hooded oriole bird. And there's different kinds of those kind of birds down here. Even that's pretty cool, huh? And you can go to the bird gallery, and you can look up a bird called a yellow-breasted chat. He's all yellow on the bottom, and then down at his belly it turns to white with maybe like a black stripe might be on there, maybe not. But he's gonna have the white color down there, and then the brown wings on his from like it's lined up right below his eyes from his bottom of the beak. the bottom of his beak is this yellow color right here. So the bottom of the beak coming down. And only the very top, like the top of the wings and the top of his body, to include just barely covering the eyes up to the beak, all of that is brown. Now, that kind of a bird does exist here, and we have seen them here too. And they're called the yellow-breasted chat bird. And they do come from the same family of, they are considered a wood warbler. Remember those other yellow belly birds I told you about? They're yellow belly, but they got straight color on top. But the ones we've been seeing don't have the white on the bottom too often. But one time we did see one of those, and it's the same, from the same family of bird. It's just that one is two-tone color underneath, and the other one's not. It's just solid yellow. And there's a lot of those kind of wobbler type birds around here. Some of them are tan. Some of them are a wooded type color of their own, and some of them are not. It's just they're all different kinds down here. But the ones you see running together, they all have the same colors, irregardless of what kind of bird they are. But yeah, these birds are really cool when you look them up on the internet to see what kind of birds they are. Bump, bump, bump. Dun, dun, dun. Oh man. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing my thing. And I guess I'll catch everybody at another time, man. You know, maybe catch everybody one of these nights. People want to come on a panel and chat. That'd be cool with me. But if not, that's fine. We'll just talk about these pretty little birds. And I think it's pretty cool. I've been down here long enough. I'm really starting to notice what kind of bird is what. I like that. That's interesting to me. It's an interesting topic. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next go around.